What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lock and Cash podcast. It is Friday, October 3rd, our final episode of the week. Do one quick rundown of the slate. This is going to definitely be a shorter episode because not much has changed. Last time I was on here, I told you that we were on a 16-4 NFL run since week two. Make that 17-4 now. We cashed on Thursday Night Football with Christian McCaffrey's under rushing. It got very sweaty at the end. Going to overtime, I thought we were doomed, but man, the 49ers were going down on the back of Mac Jones. They did not run a single rushing play in overtime. Just let them chuck it, chuck it, chuck it. It worked out. They win the game. That game, real quick, was a massive win for us, even though we didn't have a side or a money line or anything. But we do have several 49ers futures. And if we're going to hit that win total and division, that was a massive win. We might look back later in the season and be like, wow, that was the one that changed it all because they had no business winning that game. Incredibly shorthanded, gritty performance by the defense. Salah has them looking great. Shanahan schemed really well on offense, and the Rams kind of got caught, I think, a little bit flat footed. It seemed like they didn't know what to do with all the dinking and dunking and the quick throws from Mac Jones. Kept backing off, did not bring much pressure. I don't know. I think it was just an off night for LA, and San Francisco took full advantage. Give them credit. So big win there. Let's go over to Sunday. Let's talk about this international game. We got the Vikings -3.5 against the Browns. Big change here as Joe Flacco is out. Dylan Gabriel is in. He'll be making his first career NFL start. Total is still where it was at earlier in the week. One of the things here to monitor, the Minnesota Vikings offensive line injuries are out of control. It looks like they might be down their two centers. They may have no center in this game, so somebody may have to shift over and play center. Going to be interesting to see how they do it against this Browns defensive front, which is one of the best in football. Myles Garrett was a limited participant in practice on Thursday. We'll see if he goes Friday. We'll see if he plays. I think he's on track to playing. If he does play, it's going to be a long day for Carson Wentz and company over there on the Viking sideline. The one, obviously, the high variance factor here is throwing in the rookie quarterback, Gabriel, but I like it though. I'm surprised the line has not ticked down a little bit. I'll lean to the Browns here, getting the 3.5. I think just having a new person in the pocket, maybe run a little bit. He's mobile, he can get away. You have the defense is very good. You knew it was going to be low scoring anyway. I think 3.5 points is going to come in handy in this game. I can see this being a game that ends on a field goal. The Miami Dolphins taking on the Carolina Panthers. Still Miami -1 across the board. Not much has changed in this game. We've seen a little two-way action where we did have Carolina for a favorite for a little while, and then the line flipped back towards Miami. No real opinion for me on this game. I would not touch it. Not interested at all. My numbers still point a small lean to the over, which was 45.5 early in the week, even though now it's 44.5. So the market went down, but my numbers like the over. I won't be playing this game, though. I have no action on it. The Cowboys laying 2 at the New York Jets. 47.5 is your total. Told you guys that, I just don't know. I just don't see how the Jets defense gets anything done in this game. I think if they are going to win this one or keep it close, they're going to have to score points. I'm not entirely comfortable with that. Yes, they did move the ball very well against Miami on Monday Night Football, but the turnovers, they kept shooting themselves in the foot. If they can avoid the turnovers against Dallas, fair. They could probably put up some points. For me, small lean over, small lean to the Cow. I don't want to lay any road chalk with Dallas, but small lean to the Cowboys. I don't hate Jets and teasers, but to me, totals higher in this game, high variance game, I would avoid teasing it. Um, Raiders headed to Indy to take on the Colts. Both teams coming off of pretty brutal losses. Indy -7 across the board now. Got a good number in this one. We teased the Colts down when they were -6. So we have a pretty good number in our teaser. They're now -7, 47.5 is a total. I like Indy. I think they roll in this game. I just don't see how the Raiders defense keeps up here. And I think on the other side, the Colts defense is going to look good against this. Raiders offense has a lot of weapons, but it just hasn't looked right. It's looked pretty vanilla so far. Geno Smith, way too many careless throws, reckless throws into traffic, into tight pockets. Not going to work out against this Indy defense. I think they're going to get the job done and they roll in this game. Got the Broncos taking on the Eagles. Denver getting 3.5 now across the board. This was an opener of 5.5, 4.5, now 3.5. So this is one of the more interesting games of the week because we've seen some pretty severe line movement. You know how I feel about this. I gave you guys my spiel about Denver in the first market review this week, how, last season they were kind of this team that beat up on bottom feeders, but could not hang when they got to the real elite playoff teams. I haven't seen any indication that has changed yet this season. This will definitely be their biggest test so far. But, again, you saw it on Monday Night Football, right? They get the Bengals. The Bengals are decimated. They have no quarterback. They have no defense. they steamrolled them 28-3. They take care of the Titans in week 1, but then what happens? They get the Colts, very close game, they lose it. Albeit they should have won, but they lose the game. Go to the Chargers, can't hang on in the fourth quarter. Chargers come back, win, and cover the spread. So for me, it's just like one of those teams that I think I'm profiling pretty well. I think Denver's a team that plays down to their competition, but cannot play. Oh, sorry, beats up on worse competition, but cannot play up to the better teams in the league. And I think that continues this week. I lean Philly. I don't love laying 3.5. I have nothing on the game, but if this were, I don't think it is, but if this were to somehow get to 3, I would be looking at the Eagles at 3. The Giants taking on the Saints. Saints -2 at home. This was one of my teaser legs, but the number's long gone. I teased the Saints when they were +2.5. So unfortunately, I can't recommend that to you guys right now at this number. I do think they win the game, but I would just do the other side in this one. The guys, this is just one of those games where I think now you can tease the Giants up from 2.5 to 8.5 and still be comfortable with that. Two young quarterbacks, although I like how Rattler has looked this season. Sneaky edge here for the Saints on the ground. They should be able to run the ball on the Giants. I think that's going to be a key factor there. The Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Houston -2 or 2.5, depending on where you look. 40.5 is your total. Cooper Rush starting this game, not Lamar Jackson, which is why you have this weird line. I like the Ravens in this one. Straight up, I'm just going to tell you, I like Ravens money line. I don't see how Houston should be laying points in this game. After I adjust for no Lamar, no defensive injuries, I still make it like Ravens -1.5 or -2. So I'm not really seeing what the market's seeing. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. This Houston team still is terrible on the road. They're terrible when they have to go to an opponent's stadium that's outdoors and has a very strong environment, which is what you're going to get in Baltimore. And I think their offense is still broken. So I think even with the injuries on defense, Baltimore can do something here. Keep it on the ground with Derrick Henry. You got the best running back in football. Use them. I like the Ravens in that game. The Titans taking on the Cardinals. No opinion here for me. Arizona has ticked down to -7.5. I get it in terms of just a straight numbers play. Like if you just think 9 is too much for Tennessee, but for me, I don't think any number is too much. I'm safe with Arizona in teasers. I'm okay with that. Got the Bucks taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Nothing much here either. We have seen a 4 pop up for a little bit, came back down to 3.5. Tons of injuries on the Tampa Bay side. I just can't. It's hard to handicap these games, man, and get accurate, info with so many injuries to follow. But no Bucky Irving in this game, no Mike Evans. Obviously, Godwin's still hurt. Offensive line injuries. Tampa should be able to stifle the run still on defense, which they're very good at. So I could see maybe an under look in this game. And I'm think Seattle has looked good, but am I running to lay 3.5 with them at home where they're, I believe under Mike McDonald, at 3-8 ATS at home? No chance for me there. I lean slightly to Tampa, but the injury news is not good coming out of Tampa Bay. The Lions taking on the Browns. Detroit -10.5 on the road here. 49.5 is your total. I just don't see how the Bengals are going to. I mean, are the Bengals going to get a stop in this game? The Lions might not punt in this game, and that might be a good bet. If you can find some punt props like under X amount of punts, I'm not sure the Lions are going to punt in this game because you already know they go for it on fourth downs, and the Bengals cannot stop anybody. I don't care that they're at home. I don't care that it's a big home dog. NFL rules about home dogs. Not this one with Jake Browning at quarterback. It's brutal. And Dan Campbell is not the guy to do this with. He's not the guy to get cute with the home dog thing. He's all gas, no breaks. It's not like the Packers going to Dallas or going to Cleveland where I was open to fading them both times. This is not like that. He's not going to be happy with a get out of Dodge win. They will demolish the Bengals. If anything, take the Lions, put them in some money line parlays, play them in some other, in other ways. Washington taking on LA. Jaden Daniels will start this game, but the line didn't move. It was basically priced in. LA -3, mostly across the board. There are some juiced 2.5s out there. We did get Chargers -2.5 in this game. That's the side that I'm on. 46.5 to 47 is your total. I like the Chargers. Kind of the same vibe that I get from Washington, which I profiled last year as the Denver Broncos. Very similar team, in my opinion. Beats up on the worst teams, does not play up very well. I like the Chargers, especially coming off of that embarrassing loss against the Giants. I think they're going to be hungry for a win. Harbaugh, with the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, after losing as an outright favorite, he's 2-0 against the spread. It's happened twice. And I just think the Chargers will be the better team here in the trenches, through the air. This Washington defense does not scare me. They lose another edge rusher. That's going to be a big blow. They don't have a lot of depth in terms of pass rush. I like the Chargers in the game. Okay, the Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. Plus 8.5 in the market. 49.5 is your total. I lean to the Patriots in this game. I like Patriots team total over 20 or 20.5, depending on what you get. I think you're going to see points here, and I don't think the Buffalo defense is elite. So I could see New England certainly hanging in this game. I think it's actually going to be a sneaky good Sunday night football game. So I'm excited for that one. Lean to the Patriots side. Monday night football is the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars. I gave you my talk about this one early in the week. We laid the 3 with Kansas City. You can't really find a 3 anymore. It's if you get a -3, it's -120. We didn't pay that price, so I can't say run and tail me on this one, but, this is why we have a sub service. Subs get it early. We do have -3. I think I love Kansas City in money line parlays, guys. Um, or if you just wanna play them straight up, it's not even that juiced. You can play them straight up, but, I project a 7+ point win. Jacksonville with all the takeaways cannot. This unsustainable football, 13 takeaways so far. They ain't getting a takeaway in this one. So I like the Chiefs in this game. That's your wrap up, guys, for week 5. So I did give you two sides that I'm on, Chargers and the Chiefs. Do what you will with that information. Hopefully we can keep this run going. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.